Welcome to History Facts and Mysteries. Today, we embark on an incredible journey across time to uncover the key events that have shaped our global society. From pivotal revolutions to groundbreaking innovations, humanity's story is one of resilience, creativity, and profound transformation. By understanding these historical milestones, we gain insight into how we arrived at the interconnected world we live in today. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to History Facts and Mysteries and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest deep dives into the past. Now, let's begin our exploration of world history's most defining moments. The Agricultural Revolution, humanity's first leap forward. Our story begins around 10,000 years ago with the Agricultural Revolution, a turning point that transformed human life. Before this era, humans survived as nomadic hunter-gatherers, moving across landscapes in search of food. But the domestication of plants and animals revolutionized human society. The Fertile Crescent, often considered the birthplace of agriculture, saw the cultivation of wheat, barley, and lentils. However, this shift was not confined to the Middle East. In China, rice farming became a cornerstone of societal growth, while in the Americas, indigenous populations cultivated maize, beans, and squash. The benefits of agriculture were enormous. Settled communities grew into villages, surplus food allowed for population expansion, and early forms of trade and governance emerged. Yet, this transformation came with challenges. Societies experienced social stratification as wealth disparities grew. Diseases spread more rapidly in dense settlements, and environmental degradation became a new concern as land was cleared for farming. The rise and influence of empires. Fast forward to the classical era, and we enter an age dominated by empires that left indelible marks on history. The Roman Empire, Han Dynasty, and Mauryan Empire were not just territorial juggernauts. They were centers of cultural, technological, and economic innovation. Take the Roman Empire, for instance. Its influence stretched across Europe, North Africa, and parts of the Middle East. The Romans developed infrastructure on an unprecedented scale, including aqueducts, vast road networks, and monumental architecture like the Colosseum. Their legal system, jus civile, laid the groundwork for many modern legal principles. In the East, the Han Dynasty of China fostered remarkable advancements, such as the invention of paper and early seismographs. The Silk Road, established under their rule, became a lifeline of cultural exchange, linking East Asia with Europe. These empires were also marked by their ability to integrate diverse populations. Through trade, diplomacy, and conquest, they spread ideas, religions, and technologies that shaped neighboring societies. However, no empire lasted forever. Internal conflicts, economic struggles, and external pressures often led to their eventual decline. The Age of Exploration, bridging continents. By the 15th century, the world entered a new phase of interconnectedness, the Age of Exploration. European explorers, driven by economic ambition, religious zeal, and a thirst for discovery, charted previously unknown territories. One of the most transformative impacts of this era was the Columbian Exchange, which saw an unprecedented transfer of crops, animals, and diseases between the Americas and the rest of the world. Foods like potatoes, tomatoes, and chocolate revolutionized European diets, while European livestock like horses transformed Native American cultures. At the same time, exploration came with a dark side. The transatlantic slave trade forcibly displaced millions of Africans, creating enduring legacies of inequality. Indigenous populations in the Americas suffered devastating losses due to disease and colonization. It's important to remember that exploration was not solely a European endeavor. Chinese explorer Zheng He, during the early 1400s, led massive expeditions to South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, showcasing the Ming Dynasty's maritime prowess. His journeys demonstrated the potential for peaceful trade and cultural exchange long before European dominance. The Enlightenment and Revolutions. Birth of modern ideals. The 17th and 18th centuries saw the rise of the Enlightenment, an intellectual movement that championed reason, science, and human rights. Thinkers like John Locke, Voltaire, and Immanuel Kant challenged traditional authority and sought to reform society through knowledge and critical inquiry. These ideas were not merely theoretical, they inspired real-world revolutions. The American Revolution in 1776 established a new nation founded on democratic ideals. A few years later, the French Revolution shook Europe, dismantling the monarchy and advocating liberty, equality, and fraternity. The ripple effects of these revolutions extended far beyond their borders. The Haitian Revolution, for example, was directly influenced by the French Revolution and became the first successful slave-led independence movement. This era of upheaval laid the foundations for modern democratic principles and human rights movements that continue to shape our societies. The Industrial Revolution. A world transformed. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries marked another monumental shift in human history. It began in Britain with innovations like the steam engine, spinning jenny, and mechanized looms, which revolutionized manufacturing. These advances spread across Europe and the Americas, leading to rapid urbanization and economic growth. While industrialization improved living standards for many, it also introduced new challenges. Factories often relied on child labor, workers endured harsh conditions, and the environmental costs of coal and other fossil fuels began to accumulate. These issues sparked labor movements and environmental awareness, which would shape future reforms. On the global stage, industrialization widened the gap between industrialized and non-industrialized nations, contributing to the colonial and imperial ambitions of European powers. This period laid the groundwork for the interconnected global economy we see today. The World Wars. A global turning point. The 20th century witnessed two devastating world wars that forever altered the course of history. World War I, often referred to as the Great War, was a brutal conflict that introduced mechanized warfare and caused unprecedented loss of life. It also led to the collapse of empires like the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian, reshaping global borders. World War II brought even greater destruction, with 70 million lives lost. The Holocaust exposed the depths of human cruelty, while the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki highlighted the devastating potential of modern warfare. Yet, the wars also spurred innovation and transformation. They catalyzed the decolonization movement, as colonies sought independence from war-weakened European powers. Institutions like the United Nations were established to prevent future conflicts, and global superpowers like the United States and the Soviet Union emerged, setting the stage for the Cold War. The challenges of the past, wars, revolutions, and global crises, serve as stark reminders of the cost of division but also the potential of unity. From the resilience of ordinary people to the sweeping changes brought by visionary leaders, history is filled with stories that resonate deeply, offering both cautionary tales and sources of hope. Thank you for traveling through time with us. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to History Facts and Mysteries and turn on notifications for more deep dives into the past. Share your thoughts on today's topic in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think.